Welcome to Secret Love Channel. Ladies and gentlemen, discover an interesting truth in the relationship between husband and wife. Is controlling money really the way to maintain happiness and harmony? A foolish woman may think that controlling her husband's finances is a way to show power and protect the family. But that sometimes only brings distance and hurt. On the contrary, smart women not only know how to love but also understand what needs to be controlled to always keep the man's heart by their side. It's not money, but deeper factors that connect and shape a lasting relationship. Let's discover what makes this difference. 1. The heart of a woman. The most important thing for a couple to always be passionate like when they first got married is the woman's heart. Keep your feelings fresh. It is true that life is full of worries and busyness, making women sometimes feel bored and tired of their marriage and their husband. At times like that, think about the reason why you both love each other and why you are still together until now. Many times, women will be captivated by the temptations out there. But if you want to be happy, you must know how to be loyal. Know how to nurture and respect your husband. Keeping your heart warm and loving is the key to a strong relationship between husband and wife. Even though life sometimes makes you tired, remember your first love. Loyalty and respect will help your feelings stay fresh and happy. 2. Women's personality. In marriage, many wives often show anger and frustration with their husbands, causing frequent conflicts between the two. Even if it is a small matter, they still make it big. In fact, this is considered a completely wrong way. A wise woman will control her personality. She will not foolishly cause trouble and quarrel with her husband for no reason. As a woman, she will know how to control her anger to maintain a happy and peaceful atmosphere in the family. A wise woman knows how to stay calm and control her emotions to maintain peace in the family. Controlling anger not only helps the relationship between husband and wife to be stronger but also brings a warm and happy space for both. 3. That is the word of a woman. My friend, many men are often tired because women only know how to complain and nag all day long. At first, when their wives nag, men will still sit down and listen. But after a while, they will feel extremely uncomfortable. Originally, no husband wants to come home after a tiring day to be scolded by his wife with a frowning face. So women, don't add fuel to the fire. Know how to control your words. Say what you should say, what you shouldn't say. Know how to hold back. Only then will your marriage become more and more stable. Controlling your words is the key to maintaining harmony in your marriage. A wise woman will know when to share, when to restrain, thereby creating a loving space, helping the relationship become more and more sustainable and happy. If you have followed this far, please leave a comment. I want happiness. You will give us more motivation to make more meaningful videos. If you haven't liked the video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel to support. We will give you a heart. Thank you very much. Happiness and harmony in marriage do not come from controlling money or superficial things, but from understanding, respect and accompanying each other. Smart women know how to create lasting value by building trust and deep connections. It is these things that keep a man's heart, not meaningless constraints or control. Always remember, love is sharing, not possession. Lena and James fell in love in college. James was passionate, intelligent and ambitious, while Lena was gentle, responsible and always thought of others first. They got married right after James got his dream job. The early days of marriage were full of sweetness. Lena took care of the family, while James tried to build a career. But gradually, Lena realized one thing. Money seemed to be an invisible wall between them. James was a moneymaker, but he also spent quite freely. On business trips, he often invited his colleagues to eat and drink, buying expensive items that Lena sometimes felt were unnecessary. As a woman who took care of the family, Lena began to feel worried. She thought that if she didn't control the money, James wouldn't know his limits and the family might fall into trouble. She started asking James to give her all his salary, and he could only keep a small amount for pocket money. At first, James didn't say anything, because he thought that was Lena's way of showing concern. But gradually, he felt like he was being monitored, no longer free to decide anything. Every time he wanted to buy something for himself, he had to ask Lena's permission, and she didn't always agree. The feeling of being controlled made James more and more frustrated, but he chose to stay silent to avoid arguing. One day, James urgently needed a large sum of money to handle work, but Lena didn't agree, because she thought that reason was unnecessary. James's anger exploded, shouting, "Do you think I'm a child who can't take care of himself? You say you love me, but you don't trust me." James's words were like a knife stabbing straight into Lena's heart. She was silent, not knowing what to say. That night, James left, leaving Lena crying alone. In the following days, the distance between them grew wider. James came home later, shared less with Lena, and she lived in a feeling of hurt and helplessness. Lena began to wonder, where did she go wrong? She always thought she was protecting her family. But why did things become so bad? One day, Lena happened to read a book about marital psychology. In it, there was a sentence that startled her. Smart women do not control money. They control trust, emotions and companionship. That sentence made Lena think for a long time. Was she wrong to try to control money, which was just a tool, instead of focusing on the real values that kept happiness? That night, when James came home, Lena decided to talk. She gently held his hand and said, "I was wrong. Honey, I always thought that controlling money was a way to protect the family. But I didn't realize that it made you feel suffocated and disrespected. I want us to change together, so that our marriage is not only a responsibility but also a joy." James looked at Lena, his eyes softening. He hugged her, for the first time after many days of coldness. From that day on, Lena began to change. She no longer forced James to give her all his salary, but sat down with him to plan the family's finances. They divided it clearly. One part for savings, one part for family expenses, and one part for James to use freely. But more importantly, Lena no longer focused only on money. She spent more time listening to James, encouraged him when he had difficulties at work, and even learned how to solve big and small problems with him. James also changed. He felt respected, so he was more proactive in spending. He proactively shared with Lena his plans, from work plans to unfinished dreams. The feeling of companionship helped them become closer and closer. One day, when the two were sitting together in a small house filled with laughter, James held Lena's hand and said, "I used to think that marriage was a burden. But thanks to you, I realized it was the most peaceful place. Thank you for changing, so that we can be better together." Lena smiled, feeling relieved. She realized that smart women don't need to hold everything. They just need to hold the heart of their man. And that heart, she already has. These are 6 outstanding characteristics of men who are forever single. Let's find out more about them. Women. There are men who seem to always be favored by love, easily reaching happiness with just a few sincere words and a passionate heart. But on the other hand, There are people who, no matter how hard they try, only receive coldness and distance. Time and time again, they are still alone, even though their hearts are full of longing to be loved. Is it possible that there are characteristics that they themselves do not realize, causing them to stay outside the door of happiness? Let's explore 6 outstanding characteristics of permanently single men to understand better. 1. Good at talking, bad at doing. Men have high self-esteem, but lack patience, so they are good at talking but rarely trying to the end to make the good things they say come true. And of course, if they talk a lot but do little, they cannot succeed. And those who only talk without taking action will forever be incompetent. Even if they do, they will not have enough patience and will fail. Not to mention, every time there is an incident, they are eager to protect their ego, so the work becomes even more miserable. In love, the habit of talking a lot and doing little also makes it difficult for them to keep a good girl. 2. Men lack of confidence. The feeling of awkwardness and shyness in the first meeting is real. However, if that situation persists, women will judge you as a person lacking confidence and courage. Men lacking confidence also show that they are not satisfied with their true self, are afraid to share work, family and friends with the people they are pursuing. This person always appears flustered, even panicked when the opposite sex asks about those issues. For many women, men are not important in terms of wealth or family background, but in terms of courage. With courage, they will be able to do all those things. And only courage can protect their woman. Confidence is the greatest attraction of a man. When you believe in yourself, women will feel safe and secure from you. Courage is not about what you have, but how you face life and appreciate the people around you. Let confidence be the foundation for all your relationships. 3. Men who are careful and petty. Picky women are already a nightmare. Men who are picky, petty, like to comment, judge others, like to generalize trivial matters to make a big deal out of it, are a terrible disaster. Of course, girls are not foolish enough to get involved with a difficult guy like an old man. Especially when there are still many generous, gallant, and loving guys out there. XXs will raise the slogan, "I'd rather be single than give myself to the enemy." And XYs with these qualities will fall straight into the top of the list of guys at risk of being single. Generosity and generosity are always important factors in building a lasting relationship. Men who are tolerant and understanding will bring a feeling of comfort and happiness to the woman beside them. Learn to let go of the little things to become the man that anyone wants to be with. 3. Not being persistent. For women, if a man is not patient with them, it means that woman does not have a priority position in his heart. Therefore, when a man pursues a target, he must not be afraid of rejection and failure. Not only must he pay attention to the method of approaching the other person, but he must be patient. No matter how strong a woman is, it is difficult for her to resist the stubborn attacks from the opposite sex. Because deep inside, women always crave to be loved. If someone is determined to pursue them, no matter what, they will not give up. Then no matter how steadfast a woman is, one day she will be shaken by the fierce attack. Persistence is the clearest proof of sincere feelings. When you are not afraid of difficulties, not afraid of rejection, and always make an effort, the heart of even the strongest woman can be moved. Remember, true love is not a momentary victory, but a persistent journey of conquest and appreciation. 4. Men are often jealous. These men are often proud and self-conscious. and therefore often have an inferiority complex and feel ashamed of themselves when they feel inferior to others in some way. Therefore, they easily become resentful, jealous, and envious of those who are more outstanding than them. When they feel they are in a weak position, they will think that the other person is putting them down. So instead of listening to advice, they are often irritable, angry, and unable to control their emotions. 6. Not knowing how to listen. They do not understand and do not want to understand the feelings of others, and are not patient enough to observe the other person's emotions and attitudes. Therefore, communication, negotiations, etc. are very likely to fail. Happiness in love does not come naturally but requires understanding, effort, and change from both sides. For men who have not found their other half, perhaps the most important thing is not to blame fate, but to look back at yourself. Correct the things that are not suitable to become a better version. Because true love is always worthy of those who know how to appreciate and try. Don't let small characteristics prevent you from reaching the person who truly belongs to you. Believe that when you change, love will come naturally. Love is not just meeting but also a journey of self-improvement to receive complete happiness. Only when you know how to listen, understand and appreciate, you are truly worthy of true love. Changing yourself is not only to find love but also to become the best version of yourself. Love is not just meeting but also a journey of self-improvement to receive complete happiness. Only when you know how to listen, understand and appreciate, you are truly worthy of true love. Changing himself is not only to find love but also to become the best version of himself. James is a handsome guy with a stable job and a gentle personality. However, what worries him the most is his bumpy love life. At the age of 35, when his friends have all settled down with their families, James is still single. He wonders if he did something wrong. When he was young, James was deeply in love with a girl named Emma. They met at a gathering of friends and quickly fell in love with each other. Emma was gentle, thoughtful and always knew how to make others feel special. James believed that he was a lucky man to have her love. But gradually, he realized the truth. He loved Emma, but did not try to understand what Emma really needed. James was often proud of his career and position. He often told Emma, "I will take care of everything for you. You don't need to worry about anything." At first, Emma was touched by his concern. But as time went on, she felt increasingly suffocated. James made all the decisions. From where to go, what to eat, to even Emma's personal problems. He thought he was doing the best. But to Emma, it was control, not love. After many times of not finding a common voice, Emma decided to leave. In the letter she left, she wrote, "You are a good person, but I do not feel your understanding. I hope you will find true happiness." That breakup made James depressed. He became more closed, threw himself into work to forget his sadness, hoping that success would fill the void in his heart. But even though he met new people, he still could not maintain a long-term relationship. James always focused on proving himself, forgetting that what women need is to listen and share. One day, James met Emma again at a friend's wedding. She was radiant with her husband and 2 children. Their short conversation made James realize that love is not about doing everything for others, but about accompanying and sharing. From then on, James began to change. He learned to listen, understand the feelings and needs of others. A year later, James met Lily, a simple and energetic girl. Without trying to impress, James was just himself. Lily loved James not because he was successful, but because of his sincerity and the way he respected her. After a while together, they decided to get married. On the wedding day, James told Lily, Thank you for giving me the opportunity to love and be loved in the right way. I promise to always listen and accompany you. James's story is proof that changing yourself can lead to better things. Love is not about control or showing off, but about understanding and accompanying from both sides. If you find the video useful, please share it with more people, as well as subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you in the next video.